Rebecca Johnson, Executive Director of the Boys and Girls Club, Washington County. It's kind of an interesting story because I started off as being a volunteer in fundraising for the Boys and Girls Club at the baseball concessions for Media College. It's one of the fundraisers that the club does. I have a degree in education, was a school principal, and decided I didn't want to do that anymore. So one of the events I was at, baseball, they were letting me know that they needed an executive director. And I was at a position where I was looking towards a different career, but this opportunity came available and something I've believed in. So I went ahead and applied for the executive director position.
Great. And how long have you been involved?
I had volunteered probably since about 15, 16. My husband and mine's name's part of the building when it was renovated in 2012. We donated at that time. So casually involved for quite a few years, but hired into the position I'm in now in August of 2018.
And what's your favorite thing about the organization?
It really resonates with how I feel we should be working with children, raising children. It's not just an academic focus. Also, it's about making good leaders, good citizens, manners, and giving them opportunities that they may not already have in this community.
And what's the favorite event or program that the organization does?
A favorite in my estimation?
Yeah,
okay.
What's your favorite thing?
Okay. Because I think probably most would say like summer camp is probably the most fun. At least I think the kids would say that because we do field trips and swimming every week and so on. I think parents probably like the fact that we are open when schools are closed. So before school, after school, we're available. In the summers, we're available. And we're continuing to add new programs all the time. One of my favorite things are when the teens take trips. I usually drive and go along as a chaperone, and it just gives me an opportunity to step out of my office and be more of an impact right with the kids.
And what's the time you felt like you had a clear impact on the community and truly made a difference?
We just completed a large capital project and built a gym at our Marietta location on Lancaster Street. It is something that they had been trying to get built since 2015, and we managed to get a bunch of grants and things lined up, and we just opened it this past December. So, I feel like when I watch people in there, the kids in there, we have volleyball groups come in, we have an adult group of dancers come in, and our kids playing in there and just listening to them, and yep, we brought a gym to the area. So the mission is to make sure all youth have the ability to, especially those who need us most, to be good citizens, be responsible, respectful, and grow up to be productive adults. And so I can never remember the exact phrase of our mission, but that's kind of the essence of it. But as far as, what's the second half of that question? Because I get distracted.
Just some of the evolution and history of the organization.
Okay, so way back when it was started, Margaret Fredericks was a teacher in the area, and she started tutoring some boys, and she started giving them snacks and things, so then they would bring their friends. So she looked for a place to expand to. And ultimately, over a few years, it ended up at the Salvation Army. It was with the Salvation Army until about 2010. And then that relationship dissolved, and the board at the time moved to a temporary location while they prepared the location at Lancaster Street. And they got rechartered. Usually Boys and Girls Clubs, when they're chartered with a Salvation Army, they're chartered together as that entity, so they had to stop that charter and start a new one. So.
And how does the organization work towards its mission and goals on a daily basis? What's the daily routine to achieve those?
So we have 2 locations currently. So our Marietta location, we have a 4-school program. with Marietta City Schools is our partner in that, and they pick up kids there and take them to their schools. And then after school, we get kids from Marietta City Schools. We go and pick up kids from Williamstown, St. John's, St. Mary's. We get kids from Warren dropped off at our location. So in the afternoon, they get a snack, they get a dinner if they want it, they get homework help, mentoring. Social services visit our building and assist with kids and do some groups. Then we have programming based on different topics like STEM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, which is STEAM. Programs like Interplay, which is healthy mind, body, and soul, the arts and crafts. And then on Fridays, they do clubs, and it's kind of kid-guided clubs and what they want to do. Like there might be a Pokemon club. And sometimes it changes up from week to week, kind of depends on what the kids are interested in and what they want to do. So, and then we have another location in Belpre. It's not a standalone, it's located in a church that shares their space with us, and we're just there after school. But all those kinds of things happen in Belpre as well.
And what's the makeup of the organization, say staff versus volunteers versus, partners the organization works with, that kind of?
So we're board driven, and we're a federated model. We pay for the privilege of being a boys and girls club and all that comes with that. Ran by a board, and then at the administrative level, we're all employees. And then most of our staff in the buildings are employees as well. They're youth development professionals. They work part-time. But we do have some volunteers that come in. So we get volunteers from Marietta College. We get volunteers, retired folks who come in and volunteer, work with kids. We have a retired gentleman who comes and does maintenance in the building. And then as far as our ratio to students we have, or how many students we have, we serve about 15 to 20 kids a day in Belpre. And then at the Marietta site, we've been between like 85 and 90 right now. It's pretty crazy after school. So we have inputs and we have outputs. So the outputs are probably our most important, and that's serving the kids in the community. On average, we serve 400 youth, 420 youth a year in Washington County and in Wood County, because we do get some from Williamstown. We're looking to continue to expand that so that we can serve more youth. Building Bridges to Careers is another organization that we work with, and we got a grant we're working with to target more teens, because we just are scratching the surface. I was looking up some of the numbers of how many teens are in Marietta City Schools, and then how many are in all of Washington County. And we're just scratching the surface of the number of kids that we could be serving. So we always are trying to find more ways to serve more kids. We partner with Pioneer Volleyball League. So there's a lot of kids that are in that Pioneer Volleyball League that aren't our students, aren't members of my club, but they're able to come in and use the facilities of the club through their volleyball program. So, good enriching out of school time, being athletic, so it fits into our mission. And then another group that we have that's using the club all the time is a dance group. They do line dancing. And Donnie Allen comes and he does line dancing with his adults. But in exchange for using the space, he also does line dancing class or dancing class with our kids. And it's one of those things that the kids can choose to do or not to do. Some choose to do it every time, some choose to do it some just come and watch. But that gives everybody an opportunity to try something new, to be physically active, to have positive role models. They're all background checked and everything, and he has 3 or 4 adults that come and help him and volunteer with the kids. So it's just a really nice partnership there. So those are the outputs. Now the inputs, as far as from the community, we have our annual dinner coming up. We sell out of tickets, we've got sponsorships, we got people making donations, individuals, corporations, Front Street businesses, banks, and so on. So we get a lot of donations year after year, and we've developed that relationship that if they donate to the club, that their donation makes a difference right here in the community. And I think that's important, that they understand, that they can see that we try to have an active Facebook page, social media page, so they can see what we're doing and how things, when we did our big gym, we ended up, people were able to label rooms. We had dedicated rooms and different levels of donors so that people could see who gave back to the community in that way. So, and then the Marietta Community Foundation, the different banks, all have grant programs that we can apply for. I have the hiccups. So I think we have a lot of community support. I'm very pleased with this community.
What's the interaction with the community? Do you guys advertise looking for help, or do people come to you, or, well, what's kind of the interplay there?
We've been working a lot in the last few years to be more well-known. I feel like we weren't as well-known before. Haven't really capitalized on the ability to get our name out there. So, and I still feel there's a lot of room to grow in that regard. We have some people who know about us and come to us. We've had kids that grow up all the way through. We have some that bring their friends, and that's how they learn who's here and who's there. And then as far as volunteers and so on, we are at the Marietta College baseball concession stand. People get to know us from there. We have our annual dinner. They get to know us from there. So we try to be involved in as much things as we can. Our teens have had a bake sale in front of the townhouse before, so people get to see us there. Our vans have our name on it, so that allows for people to see us. So we try to be as visible as possible, but sometimes we still have to call for help, kind of like let people know we are looking for volunteers or staff. We've had to advertise for staff before, especially here recently. It's been rough to get staff members, but.
Now, looking at some of the partnerships and relationships into the community, just in general, like, what other organizations do you guys work with? Obviously, you've mentioned the college and such. What's your relationship with Marietta College, and especially like the Office of Civic Engagement? Mm-hmm. So just kind of, what's the connection and what's the function of all of those?
So let's start with Marietta College first. We have had people from Next Gen, board members, come in and work with us. We've had interns come in and work with us. We've had multiple students who have been in different programs, Marietta College, come to us. I'm actually a Marietta College grad myself. So, but what's nice is we have that relationship. We are doing the concessions at Marietta College. Baseball, we had the NCAA last weekend here for basketball. So Larry Heiser and them, they know who we are and know that we, and they call us and say, can you come help us run a concession stand? Miss Angie and I, we hustle to get the people, get the supplies, and get there and do the job. So we've built that reputation. We're a location when they do the Martin Luther King Day of Service. We're one of the service locations. Baseball team loves to come out and work with our kids, and our kids love the athletes here. Anytime we can have athletes or any college student come into the club and show them, like, we can do this. We did this, you can do this too. They're only a few years older than some of our high school kids, and that just gives them an opportunity to talk to somebody who's made that transition to college and let them know that people can go to college. It's an option for me too, and I think that that's important. And then we have met with Dr. Rude about the Marietta College music therapy program. Last summer we had somebody come and help with our kids with the music therapy, and we're getting ready we're working on fundraising for a teen center and music program, and so they've been helpful in learning some things through that. One of our teen coordinator currently is a Marietta College alum as well. So And then other organizations, you want me to speak of other organizations as well?
Yeah, if you want to. I don't know how many partnerships there are, but for example, like if you do anything with First Fridays or just any broader community outreach.
So Ely Chapman, which is another nonprofit youth serving program in the area, and I'm not sure if they will be in here interviewing as well, but they do the food service for us. We don't have a certified licensed kitchen, so they do the food service like through CACFP, which is a youth feeding program, and they deliver food to our site. We have worked during the pandemic, we worked with Go Packs. Go Packs delivers food or connects with families in Mary City Schools to get food. During the pandemic, when families weren't as mobile or some couldn't come and get their food for that, we used our Boys and Girls Club vans to help them deliver food. So that helped them meet their mission delivering food. It helped me to keep some of my employees employed through that rough, because we were closed to serving youth in the building, but we could serve youth outside the building. So we did that. And then First Fridays, we have, like when they highlight the nonprofits, we've had a table down there for that. The townhouse sponsors us for our Buckeye Bash party. We do a fundraiser. We pretty much, and that's the beauty of a small town. I wouldn't be anywhere else. But like we know the people in the city council. We know the mayor. We know the police officers, the fire chiefs, and all that. And I just think that's the beauty of a small town. Is you see people, you see them in the grocery store, restaurants, walking downtown, and everybody kind of knows everybody. And so if we need something, we just have to talk to the right people, and they will help us. They want to see the kids have a safe place to be. They want to help make sure that we're successful.